Just ate my
Hello,
last gum
everybody. Why do I always do that?
Hello, everybody.
Hello to all of the new faces from the Chameleon channel / Discord. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
You said chameleon, and now I have Karma Chameleon stuck in my
Same.
head.
Oh,
Same.
no.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm okay with it.
Oh no, now it's gonna be stuck in my head forever.
Sorry, guys.
No, I don't believe you. Anyway, okay, we're back.
Oh no.
The
Chameleon channel is actually named Karma, so there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
The more we know.
Yep.
So you guys might notice that we are too short tonight. Unfortunately, Katie is having some internet problems, which really sucks. I don't know if anybody else has gotten about a foot of snow, but we have here. So
We
it's
will
not, knocked out.
We're supposed to get like almost a 1.5 feet, so.
Whoa.
It's crazy. I love it. It's beautiful, but it knocked out our internet, so that sucks.
Oh boy.
And Jenna is dealing with some personal stuff. She is fine. We are hoping to have them back and in rare indigo shape next weekend, but you know, life is life. Now I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head.
Wait, which one?
Damn it. Life is life? Do you know this song? No? It's, for a really long time I thought it was just like a Jewish thing, but apparently it's not.
I know it. I'm singing it in my head right now. I'm jamming out.
Life is Life by Opus?
Life is life. No?
Yeah.
Okay, no, yes, I know what it is now. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Enjoy that. Alright, so quick recap. We're here to play D&D, guys. It's totally what we do.
Are we really, though?
No. Just here to act like an idiot.
It's the musical episode, folks. There we
It's
go.
all good.
I feel like it's evolved into
One day we need to do that.
We sure do.
Like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, let me tell you. I mean, there's certain, coming from the TV and film perspective, there's different, like, episode types or episode, like, structures. You know, the musical episode, the body switching episode, the time, the recurring time episode. Like, there's different tropes. And I plan, especially after I begin DMing, I plan to use every single one of them damn tropes. Like,
oh, we got to. We got to. It is our duty.
We do that.
Like, I mean, all of the best writers just steal. That's how it goes. So,
So it goes. But
love
to
those
D&D.
tropes.
Yes.
Cheers! All right, so yes, quick recap. So last time on Hell's Bells, it was a fairly quiet episode in which the girls spent a lot of time planning what the hell their next stop was going to be.
Yep.
Planning on the plan.
After speaking a little bit more with Miko's father, they determined that they were indeed going to go ahead and go to hell, quite literally. At which point he said that he had someone who could guide them there, but in order to get there, they would have to go up to the north, back from whence they came, in order to get down there so that they wouldn't have to spend a night in hell, which sounds terrible.
Sounds like 2020 to me.
Hashtag dumpster
It was
fire.
like a whole year and it felt like an eternity. Anyway, and that was really pretty much what happened. There was a lot of strategizing, a lot of figuring out what they were going to do, a lot of, not a lot, but a little bit of familial reconciliation. We'll see how that works out. And yeah, so I bring you back to Hell's Bells. You guys are still at Miko's farm, and where we had left off, Ambrit had basically said, all right, if you guys are ready, she's ready. So You guys still ready to go ahead and go up to Deepwater?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
is Disney an option? Then
mean-
yes, I'd rather go to Deepwater.
Disney Deepwater.
I mean, how could you like Disney? Except, the opposite.
But the complete opposite.
Literally the exact opposite. It's fine.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, depending on who you are, Disney might be hell.
It's true. It's true.
Anyway. I'm sorry.
Moving along.
Anyway.
There's a special ring in hell where people are just waiting online all day. Just waiting in line all the time.
Horrible.
For the ride that they can never get on.
Disney
And
and
it
Vernon.
just breaks down when they're the next
Disney
person in
Avernus.
line. Ooh.
Ah, yeah.
Disney Avernus, make it.
Oh man,
so.
that's actually.
Uh-oh.
I have to write that down. Okay.
Oh, did I start something? I'm sorry.
You know how everybody's like, oh yeah, you should never talk about ideas that you have about things in front of your DM. You
You're
never
right,
know.
you
And
really
I'm like, yes,
shouldn't.
you should. Fine. Talk amongst yourself.
Anyway,
All
off to Waterdeep.
right.
Yeah.
So, Ambrit starts leading you guys back into the city from whence you came. You guys pass by. You guys pass through the town
See?
until
Disney.
you get to a very large sort of central tower. It looks like sort of some kind of place of office, probably some kind of government building. Miko, you know that it's like the headquarters for the town. There's like a mayor there and all that good stuff.
Where the
And-
mayor live.
hey, this is the mayor's house. Wait, this is where we're going? Okay.
I just used Elvis too for that, so I apologize.
Sounded familiar.
Uh-huh.
Mayor's over there, guys.
Oh,
Sure.
I'm gonna eat some bread. Okay.
Oh, no, this one is so-
Oh, it's
oh my
starts-
god.
This is gonna be a great episode, guys. Hang on tight.
Miko is my normal voice. Miko is my normal voice. Just keep talking. I can do this. Okay.
We are consummate professionals, friends. So as you guys, you walk up to the building and Ambrit just she walks right in. Are you guys gonna just follow behind her?
Yes.
Oh yes, closely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all this before. I lived here.
Because if she walks in with that much authority, then we definitely want to just act like we're her entourage. Boom. Yeah.
Zoop. All right, cool. So she just walks right up to the counter, kind of waves hello to the person who's there. Oh, hello. I'm here to see Miss Greenstreet. She's waiting for me. And the lady just kind of bows her head, turns around, walks away for a minute. Well, so, are you guys excited? That is not her
No.
voice.
I am not excited.
Huh?
A little intimidated, to be honest. I mean, this is a really lovely, very authority-looking building. Are we gonna be in trouble?
No, I've got people here that I know them and they know me, and Miko, your dad, he knows a lot of them, and that's really all that I need. But I was kind of talking about going to hell. I mean,
Same answer.
no.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not a real friendly place, but it's kind of exciting, right? Get to go and fight some demons.
I mean, I kind of wish we were spending a little bit more time here, but if we can just get it over with, that would be probably the best course of action.
Yeah.
And
Well, I guess.
Sambra's tail starts flicking a little bit nervously, but her eyes kind of flash up a little bit, a little gold flecks start flashing up in her eyes a little bit, and she says, I've been waiting to face off against my dad for a long time. And the sooner that I can get closer to him, the sooner I can help end this. And that's all she said.
Yeah, well, Gazgadol is, well, I mean, he's scary, but Zolgoth, he's still, he's quite big and mean, and I mean, he's the reason that my family had to flee. So I'm very invested in getting down there, and I just hope that you guys are up for it.
Miko kind of like puts a hand on Sambra's shoulder and like leans around and just goes, "Dads, am I right?"
Yeah, dads.
You're not wrong.
And at this point, the woman comes back and just kind of motions to you guys. And Ambrit just follows behind her and motions for you guys to follow. Mm-hmm. You guys head upstairs. Yep. It's a pretty simple building, just, not super fancy on the inside. Just leads you upstairs to what looks like an office, and in the middle you see teleportation circle.
Ooh.
And the woman just kind of nods to you and says, "If you could all please stand in the circle, I'll get you on your way."
Miko's just is there a window in here?
Yeah.
Okay, just before I said Miko looks out the window, I shouldn't be like, is there a window?
I stand up against the wall.
I look against the wall, my arm outstretched, eyes wide. No, Miko is gonna kind of like look out the window and just like look over this town like just one last time and kind of take a deep breath and be like, okay, compose herself and head over to the circle.
And I think Cherry is going to, when you get back, kind of like hold your hand really tight and give it a squeeze. Just be like, "It's okay, we'll be back soon."
Maggie just jumps right into the circle, like, "Let's go!"
Wild shapes into a bear.
Sambra is like busy studying the designs on the floor. She's totally like just fascinated with all the different mathematics and geometry that had to go into it. Like, I gotta learn how to make one of these. And she steps in.
All right, and as soon as you guys all get in the circle, the woman kind of like waves her hands in the air and does this weird, says some words, and suddenly you guys look around and you're like, and you have arrived back in Deepwater, which is where you started. So,
let's just stay here.
Just as a quick recap for the audience, this campaign actually originally started as a one-shot that we had our Tiefling Girl Squad plus one angel, which ended up being a lot of fun and very cool, and now it became a campaign. And the one-shot was set in this town, where the girls ended up also, after the one-shot, when we started the actual campaign, fought a bunch of skeletons at a wedding. So
it was a blast.
That's where
all hail the Pink Lady.
Yep. So this
and
is
that
where
was
we are.
6 months ago.
It was 6 months ago in our
time.
It's came though, just so you guys know, it's been about a month and a half since you left.
Holy crap.
Okay.
That
a lot has happened.
Wow.
I know, isn't that, it's so fucking nuts with that, where it's like, oh my god, it's been like 6 or 7 months in real life, but in D&D time, it's been like,
it's been a day.
Yeah, right?
Right.
All right, so you guys, you appear in what looks, it's very similar actually to where you just left, but it's a little more sparse. It looks a little bit less like an office and a little bit more like a storage room almost. There's like lots of barrels there. There's some like shelving on the walls that's got some what looks like ledgers, and there's an older gentleman who's sitting behind a desk, and he's just writing in a book. And you guys appear, and he kind of looks up, squints over his glasses at you. Oh, yes, hello. You must be coming here from Broadway's. Miss Greenstreet, she said. She said that there would be 6. You're free to go.
Okay. Can he come
He's like
with
squinting
us?
at you. Guys, like,
Poor thing. Thank you very much.
yes, of course. And he goes back to
whatever he was doing.
Writing in his little journal.
Boy.
So are you guys gonna just head right out?
Yeah.
Heading out. Back here again. All right.
All right. So you guys walk down a set of stairs and out the front of what looks like just kind of a office building type thing. Or sorry, not an office building. Jesus fucking Christ. Just like a sort of nondescript building. And you guys walk into what is the merchant district of town. And Sambra and Maggie would definitely know this. And the rest of you have all been here, so you know it a little bit. But this town is run by a merchant's guild. They're the people who sort of like just run the show. There's a lot of trade that comes in through the lake that this town is situated next to. And Azarian, who was the guy that you did the favor for in the first place, is one of the
human.
Extremely pleasant human. He's one of the bigwigs in the Merchants Guild. And so as you guys walk out into the street, it is hustling and bustling. There are a fair amount of people out and about, but you do sort of see, as you look around, it looks like some of the buildings a little further down have collapsed into rubble.
Because this is where that artifact was, right? And
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so yeah, part of the reason that you guys did want to come back here, not just because you kind of had to get to where you're going, was because the university where you guys had left the artifact was destroyed. And you guys know this through Cherry's guild.
Right.
So you guys do notice that it looks like down the street to your left, there's some buildings that have collapsed and are in rubble, and it looks like some of the street is charred up in that direction. And Ambrit kind of looks around and traveling that way, it always makes my back seize up. Anybody for a drink?
Yes.
I could go for one. I don't really drink, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It's been a long month and a half. It feels like 6 months.
So,
oh, yes.
she brings you guys up to a familiar place where you originally met up with Azarian, the big tavern in town, the main place for entertainment, the Lady of the Lake. So you guys walk inside, and behind the bar you see your favorite little bartender, Hollick.
I loved him.
Baby, how you been?
Hello. You present. Wow. I didn't ever see you again.
Surprise!
Well,
yeah, believe us, we didn't think you'd see us anytime soon either, but here we are.
Alas!
You know, Master Azarian, he was rather put out by how things went, but I thought that it was absolutely wonderful. You know, he's a bit of a sticky mud, and he looks over at Miko and looks at Cherry, and it's like he's finally seeing you guys, and he's like,
beet juice.
Do you need a room? Do you want a bath?
No.
We are. This is normal. He's got real good perception, huh?
Well, he's just met you before.
Yeah. True, that's true. He's got real good memory.
Yeah.
It's just like
she's just looking.
Miko's just gonna be like, "We're in disguise," and like wink and finger gun.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't say anything. How about a glass of a tankard of ale for each of you on the house? I was so very impressed with the way you handled Master Rosarian. You know, he's a bit more steady than I would, and I don't tell anyone, but it's delightful.
It's just a fact.
Yes, well, okay. Then let me get you some tankards and a cup seat, and I will be right with you.
and he kind of does that thing where he like scurries off of his stool. This guy's a gnome, by the way. He's very small, so he scurries off of his stool and goes and like it's climbing up ladders and grabbing stuff and going over and like climbing up ladders and getting some beer. And at this point, Cherry is going to look around and she sees sitting at one of the tables, and you guys would also recognize him. It's the same guy she talked to before. And she's going to kind of turn to you guys.
So, I see, the gentleman that I talked to last time was part of the guild up here. If it's okay, I'm gonna go and see if I can talk to him a little bit and see what I can find out about the university being destroyed, okay?
Bring Zashri with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what? Ask him if, like maybe try to sneak into the conversation. Like, has anybody, like, was there an excavation of all of the school, or are they still working on pulling out rubble, artifacts, other things? You know. I, for one, would probably like to take just a little peeksies just to see if there's anything down there that might be useful. You know,
Agreed.
Of course, not to steal, but to borrow for a while, considering where we're going.
I was just gonna take it.
Anything.
Yeah, no, you guys should definitely go by and see if you can find out anything. And maybe, I don't know if you'll have time, but see if the temple, if they know anything, the people that we left the necklace with.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's a very good idea. All right, you got this.
And if I need anything, I'll send you a message.
And she's gonna walk over.
I feel like we just did basically the like, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Take this.
Zashri. Also, an 8-bit Zashri is the next commission that we need to get done, so we can put that on a shirt.
Yes.
Oh yes.
It may be dangerous, but I have a Zashri.
Oh my god, it's dangerous to go alone. Take your protector.
Zashri is my co-pilot.
Yes!
Oh my god. Okay.
Absolutely.
So Halik is going to scramble around the bar with a whole big tray full of tankards for you guys. So, like, you can't see him under this thing. He's just
I love him so much.
And he comes to the table and just kind of shoves the whole tray on.
You're all the house. It's so good to see you. If you need anything, you know, I'm very knowledgeable and I keep everything. So if you need anything, any directions or anything, I'm here to help.
And he finally notices that Ambrit is with you. Kind of like,
do I know you?
and she looks at him like, no.
She's a new
And he
friend.
kinda just-
Yes. Well, here's to new friends then.
scrambles away.
Okay.
So actually, she is also with you. Otherwise, she's with you guys.
She looks terrifying. And I love her. She's very intimidating. And I feel like Maggie and her are gonna be very good friends.
The best. Best of friends. Well, have you? So I take it you've been here before.
Yes. This is where we all met.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, really? That's well, that's a bit strange, eh? I mean, I thought that you were from. Well, you've been traveling a lot, I guess.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
We all. Mhm.
You see, we've been through the desert on a horse with no name, so we
Yep.
renamed him Senator Trottington.
Yep.
And
I wonder how our horses are.
Yes.
checks in the bag of holding. Oh, not well at all.
No? Oh, wait, I forgot we did that.
Oh
No, that was a joke.
No.
Oh no.
But didn't we put them in there?
No, they are safely in Elysian with Cordial's parents.
Yeah.
Definitely left them there.
Like, no nightmare scenarios here, please. No.
No horses were put into bags of holding. in this
Correct.
game, I promise.
Like that when I was like, I'm gonna climb in the bag of holding. Everybody's like, yeah, you're fine, you can die. But it's like the horses, no.
No, not the
Miko,
horses.
get in this bag of holding. Horses, stay, no, it's danger. Danger to go
No.
Exashri, horse. Okay, sorry. I'm done. I'm so sorry, Vanessa. I'm so
I
sorry.
love
Oh,
this
my
so
heart.
much.
Right, no.
Oh jeez.
Sorry. No sorries. Alright. So you guys have your mugs of ale, and Ambrit is just kind of sitting with you, drinking. It looks like she's fairly deep in thought.
Mhm.
What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm trying to think. There's when the destruction of the school happened, or not the school, sorry, when the destruction happened, did they when they sent word to Cherry, did they happen to mention, was it the original people, two folks that had accepted the artifact from us, or were there did they die too, or do we even know any of that?
Nobody knows. Or nobody down there knew anything. They just knew that the university had been destroyed.
Okay.
That was really it.
I think
And,
I think Sambra would be at least, checking out the tavern, seeing if there's any other travelers that we've recognized from in the past when we've been in here, and and or checking out to see if there's anybody that's noticing us extra closely.
All right, roll perception for me.
Yeah, here we go.
The game, first roll of the game.
First roll. Here we go. And that is survey says perception. That's a big old 5.
Okay.
5.
So as you look around, it's it's a little bit disorienting going from one place to another place that's like 100 miles away really, really fast. So you're still trying to get your bearings a little bit. So as you look around, you're like, do I know that guy? No, I don't think so. You don't see anybody that appears to be noticing you guys as anything out of it. Nobody's looking overly intently at you guys.
Those are working swimmingly.
Well, I definitely think that, I don't see anybody that I recognize from when we were here the last time, but I really do think that it's a good idea to at least maybe ask around, see, what might have gone down exactly, since we don't have a lot of details. I like going into a situation with as many details as possible. You know this.
Well, while we're here, we want to go check out the university.
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best bet.
Okay. So are you guys just gonna try to head in the direction that you think it
First I
is?
want to ask, what's the bartender's name again?
Hollick?
Hollick. Hey Hollick, quick question.
Yes.
Did you hear anything about the university?
Oh, goodness. Well, of course, it was blown up or something. I mean, they won't really tell us very much. Between you and me, I think the guild is hushing things up because something happened out of their control, and they don't like people to know that they don't have control of this town. People are angry, you see. They think that the Merchants Guild isn't doing enough. It's been almost a month and a half since it happened, and the building isn't any closer to being fixed, and downtown is a wreck, and, you know, it's difficult to get things in and out of here when half of your city is destroyed, but not doing it.
So it happened right after we left?
Oh, yes, actually, only about a week after you left.
That's odd.
No, I hadn't really thought about it, but I suppose it is a bit odd. Although we do get travelers in and out of here quite frequently, you know. It's a bit of a waypoint, and especially merchants, you know, they're coming and going and going and going. People go over the mountains and then come back. Mostly.
Understood.
Yes.
Well, do you know the quickest way to get over there?
Oh, certainly. If you go out the front door, you take a right and keep walking for about, you'll see a large establishment on your right-hand side, and the river's there. So then you go over the river, and then it should be right there. Well, it'll actually be quite easy to find because it's a pile of rubble.
That makes sense. Are there guards there, making sure no one goes over there?
You know, there were, but I don't believe that they are there anymore. But I could be wrong. I haven't been by recently. I've mostly been staying right here.
I get that. Better safe than sorry.
Well, you know, like I said, it's the town's been in a bit of an upheaval since everything happened. You know, first everyone heard about the skeleton invasion. It was very scary, and
did that stop?
Yes, it did. You all stopped it, and it was quite wonderful, to be honest. Sigh of relief. But then, you know, a week later, the university exploded, and that hasn't been repaired yet. So people are still quite upset, and things have been a little, well, you know, when there's no, when half the town goes up, people don't have their livelihoods anymore, and, well, let's just say that the door's locked at night.
I get that.
Yes.
As always, you're the best.
Thank you.
I have one more question though, Kalik. Was there anything else that happened after the skeleton invasion? I'm just curious.
Nothing out of sorts, no.
So everything's been...
Well, aside from the increase in the crime rate, you know, people have been talking about some kind of underground network of thieves of some kind that perhaps are taking advantage of the position of the Merchants Guild in the city, since you know, it is more difficult to get goods in and out when half the town has exploded, and it's blocked a bit of the river, but you know, that's been unclogged. But for a while, it's the rumors going around that someone was helping them.
What those rumors, did they say was it like anyone in particular or just in general?
Some underground organization.
But do we have like a title, or
are they like the cool bad dudes club?
Do they have like tattoos? Sorry.
I don't know. I just know that they were some sort of shady underground organization. There was something about cards.
Yeah. Well, yikes. That sounds like bad news. Anyways, what you got on?
Okay.
Oh well, we
Yep. Sambra looks at the girls and then looks at Kalik and says, Kalik, what's the most expensive drink I can buy? Just off the top of your head, how much for it?
well, I have some delightful raspberry mead that is it's 3 gold pieces for a bottle, though. It's a bit pricey, but you know the merchants, they love things like this.
Sambra puts up a hand and says, say no more. She gives him 6 gold, slides it across the table, across the counter, and says, I will take that whole bottle of raspberry mead to go and keep the change. You've been very helpful.
Oh, that's quite, well, yes, of course. Thank you. And he scraples off his little stool and like runs in the back really quickly.
And Sambra turns to the girls and says, we're gonna need every drop of that mead for what we've got to do next. Oh my
Yep.
god.
This isn't gonna be good.
And I think that Cherry is not going to be coming back with any good news.
No.
But we definitely have to protect her now more than ever, because this guild that she's a part of, more and more, I am not happy.
They're not up to any good.
They sound like, no.
Yoholic.
Yes.
So that meat is awesome, but do you happen to have any like really high quality apple juice?
Oh, well, I might. I mean, most of the. Let me check. And he like scrambles back.
We need to get him a floating disc.
Yeah, that would really help him, because, I mean, he's such a little guy, but you know what? He really runs this place.
I'm gonna
He's
write that
awesome.
down.
Floating disc. If you guys want to see him, actually, he is under. You can.
Yeah,
he's
he's right here.
The deep water NPCs.
He's so
On
cute.
your
I love him
list.
so much.
He's fresh.
Oh, buddy. Look at those mutton chops. Oh, I could just eat them up. Oh.
Sorry.
Yes, I do actually have a bit of apple juice, although it's probably a little bit hard. It's been sitting for a little while. Not many people order it, actually.
That might be a good way of getting Cherry used to alcohol.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Well, that'll be 4 silver, please.
And she takes 5 silver and slides it across and goes, keep the change, while like looking over at Sambra like, I did good.
And he's just like, oh, yeah, well, thank you very much.
One more thing,
like,
Holic. Do you have any fruit or veggies?
No, I'm sorry, I don't have any of that. You can try the market, though. They may have something of that sort. They probably do, Lots of people come here to trade and that sort of thing. Across the river, they have several farms and out in the outskirts of town. Well,
Maggie's gonna take one copper out and slide it across the table and be like, thanks.
well, you are just being so generous, and I do appreciate it. Thank you. You're always welcome here. The lady.
It's like Sambra has looked at, Miko's look at first, like, and then when Maggie does it, she and I are both like, we love you. We love you.
I feel like right now, like, Sambra is like name brand, And then Miko's like
Dollar
coming
store.
up with like competitors knockoff, and then Maggie is like Dr. Thunder with the label ripped off and a sticker. Dr. Pepper.
That is Maggie in a nutshell, guys.
Wow. All that.
Well, what do you guys think? Where should we head to first?
Well, maybe it's a good idea to head over to the temple, just to speak with some of the clerics over there, just like Cordy had mentioned to us.
Mhm.
And if Cherry is still within our eyesight, I mean, either I can send message or I can kind of signal over to her like we're heading out or something, whichever would work, DM.
Yeah, you can message her. She is over at this table with this gentleman,
Gotcha.
and so
Yeah.
is Ashri.
Right.
Ashri's probably
So,
flanking because she's a bodyguard.
Got you. So yeah, I would hit Cordy with message and say, Cordy, looks like we're gonna go to the temple to talk with the clerics like you recommended to us. And we may go investigate the university after that. If we're not back in a certain amount of time, well, you check either place for us. But we should be fine.
Okay, I'll let you know if I find anything, and I'll find you as soon as I'm done here.
All right, so you guys are headed to the temple.
Yes.
To the temple. Away.
All right, so you guys head out of the tavern. The temple district is in the opposite direction from the university when you leave. So you go take whatever. You go out and head in the other direction. And the buildings. The first time you were here, it looked. It's a fairly small city, but it looked fairly grand. As you guys are walking past, you're noticing that it seems like it's a little bit more run down than it was a month ago.
Like it feels like they've just kind of let it go.
A little bit. Like there's not as many people. Streets are a little bit dirtier. The buildings are a little sooty where you are. People just don't seem as happy. Can I have everyone roll perception?
Yes, you may.
Yeah.
Sure.
D20 right here. I found it.
What D20 am I gonna roll?
Ellen, name me D20. And we did a good job. That is a 16.
Let's see.
12.
14.
Okay, so everybody, you all notice that whereas before everybody was sort of dressed very brightly, and fairly typical merchant stuff. Most merchants dressed in like bright colors because it shows off station.
Right.
You're noticing a lot more people dressed in black interspersed throughout the stalls that you're passing, because you're passing sort of through like the market area. There's just like a lot more people that are dressed a little bit more drab than you remember.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. That's it.
May I please roll insight to see if they seem like sad, like if it's in mourning, or if it might be something else?
Yep, go ahead.
Wee. That is an 11.
Okay. So for the most part, it's a little difficult to tell, without directly engaging one of them. But for the most part, it seems like they don't seem to be like sad or upset about anything necessarily. Just sort of going about their business.
Interesting.
Could I ask one of the merchants that's still brightly, like, colorfully dressed?
Sure. Yeah, so you want to just like kind of go up to the first person that you see?
Yeah, first person, and just kind of ask. I can do either investigation or persuasion.
I'm gonna have you roll investigation just to see who you find.
Yeah. That's going to be a 9.
9? Okay. So the first thing that you see is this woman who's got this sort of tent set up. She's wearing bright pink clothing and a purple hat, and she looks like she's selling some fish.
Okay.
And just, walk into her stall.
Hello.
Yeah. Wow, this stuff looks great. Do you have any specials today?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. How about what's your favorite? Is there anything you recommend?
Do you have any fruit?
No.
What is with people and no fruit?
This is a fish stall, Maggie.
Yes.
Don't fish go well with lemons?
We don't have those now.
In deep water at all. This is a citrus-free zone, y'all.
Maggie's just gonna go hungry.
She's never gonna eat again.
What, was she just gonna rage eat lemons? Like,
I mean, she'll take what she can get at this point.
You'll be fine, Maggie. Matter of fact, here, Sambra looks around. DM, do we see any like veggie or fruit stalls like right next door or something? Or
Roll investigation.
yeah, please.
Maggie's too stubborn to look for
There we
herself.
go. There we go. 6 on the die. That's a total of 18.
Yeah, you see a couple of stalls down. You see somebody that's selling some fresh fruit.
Oh yes.
Got you. Maggie,
I'll be
look,
over
and
there.
She points over to the stall. There you go.
Okay.
sorry. Got that jaw stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, I'll just buy something that looks pretty decent. And I'll just be like, so, I love your outfit today. I couldn't help but notice not everybody is sharing your same jubilant color palette right now.
Yes.
Is there an event going on or something? I'm sorry, we're from out of town.
No.
No? People just started dressing that way? Last time we passed through, everybody seemed to be in very high spirits.
Oh, well, the town caught on fire.
Well, yeah, that did happen. You're right.
Yes.
Okay. But like no cults, anything like that. No, like.
No.
Okay, sweet. Well, thank you for the fish.
Yes.
We appreciate it. You have a lovely day, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, before we leave, what Sambra would do is, does she have any shrimp?
Yeah.
Okay. She would buy a pound of shrimp. And how much would that be?
It's gonna be a silver piece.
Okay. Gotcha. And I'll slip her too. I mean, the town just caught on fire. Support local business. Boom. So,
Yes, support your local businesses.
yes. So I'll give her 2 silver.
Yes. Oh, yes.
How
Thank
much was
you.
my fish?
Like 2 copper.
2 copper? I'll give her 10 copper and be like, I must have been mistaken.
Yes.
She looks very happy.
I love this lady. She is a woman of few words, but oh my god.
Yes!
Yes,
No.
No.
Please,
I love it.
have her come back.
Oh yeah, please.
Oh, for a name. Okay, I can do that.
Wow. Okay. So going to join Maggie over at the fruit and vegetable stall there.
Okay, yeah. So the fruit seller actually looks a little bit more put together. He's wearing a blue jacket with a bright red silk top and red pants. He looks like put together and probably a little bit more well off than some of the other people.
It's because he
All
knows
right.
what's up. Fruit. Hello,
He's
sir.
got branding.
Yes, hello.
Do you have any like bundles of fruit or veggies?
Well, I don't sell vegetables, but I do sell fruit. What, are you looking for anything in particular?
Anything that grows on a tree would be great.
Well, you know, not all fruit grows on trees, old lady. I have several things that grow in bushes or in bundles. What could I...
Or that! Anything with vitamin C, or...
I don't know what that is.
What's your favorite fruit,
Derby is
sir?
Right.
Well, we have these delicious peaches that are for sale. It's 1 gold for a bunch. Would you like some?
I will give him 2 gold.
Oh, that's lovely, dear. Thank you.
And he hands you like a bundle of, not a bundle, but like a bag full of peaches.
Yeah.
I like a bundle better. I want it to be like wrapped in like cloth.
Like in cloth, just like a big.
Like from
just
Harry and
like
David's.
box fruit, and it's just this lumpy, like cloth wrapped, just blob. Like, here you go.
Thank you, sir. You've made my day.
You're very welcome, young lady. Slides the gold pieces and puts them in a little pouch.
Is there anything else that I can interest you in while you're there?
Do you have any apples?
Of course. They
I'll
grow on
take a bunch of
trees,
apples,
after
too.
all. How many?
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna, like, if Sambra's by me, I'm gonna go, how many apples do we need to make a glass of apple juice?
I mean, a small bushel should be just fine. You know
That
what I
many.
mean?
A small bushel. Well, I can give you a full bushel, but I don't really have anything less than that unless you want a bag.
A bag is fine. A bag
Bag's
is good.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. It is 5 silver.
I'll give him
He
another
hands you a-
gold.
Oh, thank you. It's quite generous. Are you all from out of town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Do you know what happened to the university?
Well, it caught fire as far as I know.
Do you know from what? Any rumors going around?
Rumors. No, not in this city.
Insight check.
Yeah. Inside check. DM,
19.
please.
Wait. I think that's incorrect.
Well, Maggie's busy eating her peaches, so she has no idea.
Oh, yeah, no. I rolled a 3 on the dice, so.
So
yeah.
did I.
Nope, I believe every word.
19.
Yes. So he is lying through his teeth.
All right, I'm gonna walk up and take one of Maggie's peaches.
Hey!
And what?
I said, hey!
And I'm just going to kind of like take a bite of it and like squeeze the rest of the peach and be like, look, you and I both know that's wrong, so why don't you tell us what's really going on? And I'll kind of like take another bite that like goes into the pit and I spit the pit out. It's real tough.
All right, I want you to roll
Wow.
intimidation.
Oh, the
Ooh,
pits are
that
the best
big
part!
Ooh, being so gangster right now.
That is a 26.
I know.
Oh my god!
He probably like beat himself a little bit, but he's not showing it. You can just see his eyes go like wide. He's like, well, and he leans down like really conspiratorially.
There were some that winged beasts ridden by horned devils attacked the tower and set it on fire. But anyone who has said so has been labeled as insane. So please don't tell anyone that I told you.
I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about. You just told us that the library caught fire probably because some kids were playing with matches. I think that makes total sense.
That's not what he said.
Maggie, shut up!
Here, have another peach.
Just shove a peach in Maggie's mouth.
I already have one. I don't want another one yet.
Actually, as Sambra would probably lean in and kind of step in and say, so what's going on with all of the black outfits that we're seeing around town? Last time we were here, most people were dressed maybe not as nice as you, but brightly colored at least.
Well, I'm going to have you roll persuasion for me, just to see how much you get out of him, because he's a little scared, but...
Okay, that is... persuasion. There we go. 14.
14?
Yes.
So he sort of leans down again in that like little conspiratorial style. He's like,
Well, I heard that they have been working with the Merchants Guild, but they're outside hires. There's not really much more that we've been told. I myself am part of the guild, but not quite so high up, and we've been given the information that they're hired by the ranking members to help rebuild and assist in, reconstructing the city.
You've been most kind, good sir. High five.
he like very gently taps his fingers against your palm.
Miko's kind of like, what am I doing?
Yes, is that how they say goodbye where you're from?
Yes, it is. Farewell.
Thank you for the purchases. I appreciate your business.
Oh, and here's for the peach, and I'll kind of do a little toss. Not like a coin flip, because I've done that. We've been there. So instead, I'm gonna do a little cat paw, floop, for a silver piece.
Oh,
well, thank you very much, ladies. It has been a pleasure meeting you.
I feel like as we walk out of his tent, things go into slow motion as we pull out our little bags, throw some copper in the air and turn down for what starts playing in the background.
Down for what?
Making it hell.
Okay. or that confidence song. What's wrong with being confident? Ooh, and then the hair.
And we're all like,
Maggie
flips her shopping bags full of peaches.
She's got a little bit of peach running down her tail.
that's Maggie in a nutshell.
And that is actually going to be the perfect spot for us to take our first break of the night. So for new people, instead of taking one break in the middle, we try to take some smaller breaks as we go so that people can adjust and use the bathroom and get some drinks and whatever they need. So we try to keep it to 5 minutes, but we never do. So we'll be back in 5 to 10. We'll see you then.
Woo! And we're back, everybody. Oh, I missed that chat. What about Kat? I see my name. She's talking to the camera and everything. I'm drawing a cat. I hope Kat is with us. I am with you, Rosanna.
For sure.
My art.
My
All right.
favorite thing is when people, like, kids draw me photos. It's the best. Best thing ever.
Let me turn this off and turn on the little. There we go. Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
have had anybody draw me.
Ever?
Same. Although, as my brand new niece, relatively brand new, gets older, hopefully she will, draw my likeness. We will see.
Make
Depends on how
portraits of her
often she gets to
auntie.
see me. Yeah,
Oh.
that'd be really cool if she did.
Yeah. All right. So you guys are walking through the streets of town, headed towards the temple. Is there anything else you want to do? Anywhere you want to stop on the way? Or are you guys heading straight there?
Probably just straight there.
Okay.
I think Sambra might she might keep an eye out for just in general, just to watch our backs a little bit. Anybody that she sees, kind of tailing us, following us around, because I mean we've had straight up monsters coming to try and attack us, Miko, so she's got a keen eye out as much as possible.
All right. Roll perception for me.
Okay. Let's see what we see. Ooh, that is a 15.
15? Okay. So, yeah, as you guys are walking towards where the temples are, you're keeping an eye out, making sure that you're not being followed, making sure nobody's giving you any side eye. You don't really see anything.
Okay.
Do you guys hear that?
No, I don't hear anything. I mean,
I'm sorry, I was doing my crunch delicious food dance while I was snacking on this peach.
I don't know, it's just like a weird buzzing. And
Can
this
I
is
roll
in-game, by the way, not out-of-game.
Could I roll an insight check to see if she's really hearing something or maybe something else?
Sure.
Because we've had poor Maggie affected too. Let's see, that's gonna be very good though. That's only a 9. 9.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she believes that she's hearing something.
Okay.
Could I do either a perception or investigation to see if now that she's mentioned it, if I can like place it too?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
Well, that right there.
Can
15.
I roll is Maggie losing it? Check.
You don't have to roll for that. It's fine.
Insight.
So yeah, you kind of, she says that and you're like, you don't really hear anything. It sounds like buzzing. You hear, people talking and the clink of commerce, but you don't really hear like a buzzing noise necessarily.
I don't know. Onward.
All right. You guys all make it to the temple in one piece.
This
You guys
looks
had it-
familiar.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is where Maggie lost her mind.
Are you guys gonna head right in? You gonna knock on the door?
Oh, knocking, of course, to be.
Knock, knock,
Do
knock.
you guys
Alright.
want me to stay out here?
Oh, do we? Matter of fact, DM, something just occurred to me.
Mhm.
Do I remember that Maggie complained of hearing buzzing back when she was near the artifact so long ago? When we were first here?
She did not.
Okay. Okay. No, I don't know. I think you should come inside with us, Maggie. That's no problem. We should travel together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you come up to the door, and it opens, and you see Amelie, who was the Azarian's daughter. She opens the door. Oh, hello.
Hi
Come
there.
in.
Hi.
What, what are you all doing here?
Oh, we're glad to see you again, Emily. I mean, we heard what happened at the university, and well, that special item, and she has that glint in her eye. That special item that we had handed over last time we were here, we wanted to make sure everyone was basically safe. Uh-oh. Oh, DM is rolling. Oh dear.
Special item, the the necklace.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, is it safe? Is everyone safe? We didn't know whether or not all of you or any of you were hurt in the accident.
No, we're fine here. But the necklace was transferred to the university before before it went up in flames. We didn't keep it here. We didn't want to keep it outside unnecessarily, you know. We thought it would be safest in the hands of studied scholars.
Gotcha.
Well, did they recover it at all? Or were they able to get it out of the fire safely? Do you know?
I don't. As far as I know, they haven't been able to recover much. The whole place went up in flames, and manuscripts were lost, artifacts were destroyed. They've combed through it several times, but they haven't found very much that survived, unfortunately. Honestly,
Oh,
even if
that's
they had found it, I'm not sure that we would be the people that they would speak to. It's not the scholars that are handling the retrieval of these things. It's the guild and their people, you know, because they're the ones who have the resources and the tools to rebuild. And well, to be honest, the guild basically runs the university anyway.
very interesting. Kinda bad, maybe, but very interesting.
Well, I mean, it's just because they're the ones that are wealthy, so they can fund such things. The Merchants Guild they run things because they have the money. They can fund the university and all the research that it does.
Oh dear. Well, guys, what do you think?
I mean, it's not like we can go and over tip the university. We need to go there, though.
I agree.
The question is, do we want to wait until the others are back with us, or do we want to go on ahead? Sambra, can you message them and let them know where we're headed? Are they close enough?
Actually, that would be a good question, DM. Let me double check what message allows me to do. It is a range of 120 feet, but I have to point my finger towards a creature within range. So, I mean, if I can see at least the tavern from where we are and point back towards it, 120 feet away.
You guys are going to be more than 200 feet away from the tavern for sure.
Got you. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, message doesn't work like that. But we can at least leave a note. We already let Cordy know where we were going first and then second. so we can at least leave a note for her here, and just go over to the university, at least on the QT to see what we might be able to see.
It wouldn't hurt to just kind of survey the area. Maybe not, go in, but
Agreeing.
And you guys suddenly hear this.
uh-oh.
Oh! And Naomi comes running out of one of the rooms, and Maggie, she like grabs you around the middle and gives you a big hug.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. You guys came back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good to see you. How are you doing?
Relatively good.
Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad that you're here. Miss Poyette has been teaching me how to help people.
That's so awesome, sweetie. Oh my gosh. And you're looking good, you're looking healthy, and you're looking happy. I'm so glad that you can find happiness here.
And your parents are doing.
Yeah. They said that for a little while, if I wanted to, that I could come here and study, because Poyette said that I was such a good helper that I could be here for a little while, and they said that I'm doing such a good job that I can go ahead and stay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I'm really excited, guys.
If I had a sticker, I would give it to her right now.
Same.
Right?
Gold star, Naomi. I can't
Oh
thank you
my
guys
goodness.
enough for helping me. I was really scared, and you guys really helped me out. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you, please just let me know. I never thought I'd see you again. It's so exciting that you're here.
Oh, sure should take my bacon.
Okay.
Only a piece. Only a piece.
Okay.
But take it. She's so cute. I can't stand it.
She's cute.
She takes a piece.
Where is Zashri?
Zashri and Cherry are on a super top secret mission, and it's super awesome. They'll be here to say hey as soon as they can. It might be a little bit, but they said specifically to tell you hi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Well, when you see them, tell them that I said thank you and hello. And, yeah, and if you need anything, you just let me know. Mhm.
Okay. And I think Sambra, I mean, she loves this girl so much. She's gonna do this. She's gonna say, "Hey, want to see something cool? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, come over. Come this way." And if we go, are any of the bedrooms, or is there like a couch or a cushy chair at all? Like in the common sitting room
Yeah,
where we
there's a
are?
couple of like comfy chairs that are just kind of around for people to hang out in.
Okay, I'm gonna tell her, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to run as fast as you can towards that chair all the way over in the corner and jump before you get to it.
Okay,
Ready?
okay.
Are you ready? Okay,
She
and go!
takes
then I
off
think-
running and does like a running leap.
And as soon as she does the leap, like when she comes on the upper arc, I cast Fall on her so she can just float down
She comes-
the chair.
And she kind of like floats down and she's like, "Whoa."
Fun, right?
And she turns around and she's like, Miss Poyette, will I be able to do that? And Poyette just like shakes her head a little bit, like, perhaps one day. But it is not something I can teach you now.
Oh, wow. That was really cool, Sambra. Thank you.
You're
Miko
welcome,
re-
sweetie.
Miko realizes all of her spells are definitely too violent to cast in here.
Oh gosh, we're doing the one-upping again?
Oh,
No!
I got this.
I just thought it was such a wholesome moment, so I was like, oh, and then I was like, nope, I can't make her shadow attack her. That's not nice.
I know Maggie's got something though. I know Maggie.
I'm gonna use Druidcraft to make it feel like it's snowing in here for a minute.
Oh,
There you go.
It's not real, but it's kind of cool.
that's so cool. It hasn't snowed
Magic.
here in a really long time.
Magic is definitely fun. It takes practice.
Yeah.
And you have to learn really well, pay attention to your studies.
Yeah.
And well, right now we're trying to, part of that secret mission is trying to help the town with the university. You know, that big fire that happened?
Yeah.
So, well, hopefully after the town rebuilds the university, then people can start learning at university again, maybe even learning some magic. You never know.
Yeah, a lot of people were studying there. Mostly the merchants' kids, though. Kids like me, we don't get to study at the university, but I can study here, and I'm going to study real hard, and I'm going to be the best healer that there ever was.
I'm gonna go in my bag, and that cleric book that I finished, I'm gonna give
Mhm.
to her.
Oh, what's this?
That is a book that if you read it over and over and over and over and over again and make a spell book, you can learn spells from it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go put it in my room. It was so good to see you guys. Thank you for coming by and saying hello to me when you were in town.
Stay
And she,
good.
Yeah.
And she like runs off.
Don't grow up.
I wish I could just put her in my bag of holding and carry her around like a little horse. That would.
oh, no. Then she,
Gosh.
yeah.
Cat, you just broke my heart in little pieces when you just said that, because there's a song that you could sing out of character. There's a song you could sing about not growing up, but that story isn't around anymore. I'm like, oh my goodness. But she is a delight. I love that kid.
All right, so you guys headed to the remains of the university.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. About what time of day is it right now, DM?
Mm-hmm.
It's getting to be a little later. It's probably around 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Before you go, Huyet is going to clap her hand on Maggie's shoulder.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can I speak with you for a minute?
Sure.
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I had a weird buzzing sound, but I was just assuming it was like maybe a storm coming.
Can I do something very quickly, please?
Sure. I guess.
And she's going to just kind of like put her hand on your head for a second.
Last time you were here, you were not doing so well.
No, I was not.
Are you finding your way, you think?
I hope so.
You
We
must
might
be
have to go somewhere, well, somewhere that may test that.
You must be careful.
I'll try. I have them, though.
She can see you, you know.
I know.
Be careful.
I will.
Have a good evening.
You too. I'm gonna put my hand to her head.
She like smiles a little bit. Like one of those like very warm smiles that like grandmothers give, where she's just like,
She's like, she's tried.
Like she's all like checking up, doing the magic, and you were like, and also with you.
Yeah.
Right. And Sambra is just in the corner still talking to Miko. So Miko, from now on, we definitely have to make sure that Maggie gets her fruits and vegetables. You know, scurvy is a thing. She has a point, you know, and I feel so bad because I don't only eat bacon, but I eat a lot of bacon. And sometimes I don't think about veggies and fruits like she does. So I really want to make sure that all her needs are met. You know what I mean?
Like nod, and then I call out. I'm like, "Yo, y'all got any lemons?"
And Amelie kind of like looks up from what she's doing. She's like, no, citrus doesn't grow this far north. You have to go further south for that.
One day.
Then
One day I'll get another orange.
rude.
Those peaches look good, though.
They're pretty good. You guys notice that about half of them are probably gone at this point.
Wow.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm gonna get poisoned by peaches.
Oh no.
That's what is that? I think it was that one. Yeah, it was that.
Oh,
I think.
dear.
20. Dirty 20.
20? Alright. You feel like a teeny bit queasy for 1 second just because you ate so many so fast, but you're like, whatever, I got this. This is fine.
Shake it
Take a
off.
big swig of water, like, eh. Alright. Alright, so you guys say goodbye to everybody. They all wish you well. And Juliet says, if you need a place to stay, you are always welcome to stay here. We have pets. You have been very helpful to Naomi, and we are in your debt.
Thank you. And please, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out to us if there's like something weird going on in the town, or if you guys need help from us anytime.
Of course. Yes. Well, thank you. And as you guys leave, Ambrit, who's been kind of just like leaning up against the door frame. What did you do for them? They were all so enamored of you. It was crazy. I've never seen people be that nice.
Oh, you know, curse removal or whatever. I was just like eating bread, probably.
It's a long
Ate a lot of bread
story.
back then.
I did. I've cut out carbs quite a bit since then. She says taking a beer.
she said, swigging her beer. Well, do you want to go down to university? You know, I've never been there myself.
I mean,
I think
good
you
as
do
time
it.
as any.
Yep.
You know, and it's starting to get a real dark, so if we go down there, probably people won't see us poking around. Just really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't hurt.
Agree.
All right. Let's go. So you guys head out into the town. It's about probably about a 3/4 mile from where you are. You approach what looks to be the center of town. And the closer and closer that you guys get, you notice that even though it's getting dark, it starts to get more and more dingy. You can tell that like some of the roofs have caught on fire around here. There's definitely soot on the buildings. You can see some debris in the streets, and the closer that you get to like the city center, where the university is, the destruction becomes more and more clear. There's some broken archways, some broken bridges. Interestingly enough, though, it doesn't look like there's any blood or bodies or anything. Obviously, it's been a little while. It's been about a month since this has happened, but it doesn't really look like there was much of a death toll from what you can see.
Is there anything as we approach that any of us could roll anything to figure out, like, what was used to make this explosion?
Right.
Sure. I mean, so yes, I will have, you can each roll perception or investigation and tell me which one you're doing because it'll get you different things.
I would roll
I'm
investigation.
gonna use my advantage.
Dirty 20. Yes.
I'm gonna use investigation. 18.
I'll do some perception then.
Okay.
14.
14. Okay, so perception. As you're walking up, you can see that whatever happened here, it definitely radiated from a central point.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell that the fire definitely started at the tower and caught out. So whatever it was intentionally set in that center area. So for investigation, you guys kind of like, you're looking around as you go, and when you get closer, you're sort of like looking through the rubble. It doesn't look like there was any kind of explosion, which is what people keep saying. It just looks like it caught on fire. But you said you rolled an 18 and 16?
Okay. It was a 20 actually. Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys can definitely tell with those rolls that whatever this was, the fire started at the top and collapsed the structure.
From our past trip to the city, do we remember that was like a bell in the tower or something like that?
You guys weren't here. You wouldn't have
Yeah,
known.
we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Detect magic?
Sure.
That's a good idea.
What are you just like walking around with it?
Yes. And that is it's up to 10 minutes. So for the next 10 minutes, yeah, anything within 30 feet of me.
Okay. So as you're walking around with the spell up, you don't really catch anything. There's a couple of very small pings, but as you sort of look at it, it looks like it's in the debris, and it's probably some broken pieces of something that was magical. As people walk by, you occasionally get small pings off of certain people, but it's not anything that you wouldn't expect from, maybe a couple of wizards or sorcerers in town.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not picking up anything out of the ordinary, really, guys. I don't know.
It's just so weird.
It actually, it seems like it started from like that tower over there. I want to go take a closer look
I
at
think we
that.
should go over to the tower.
Is the entrance, DM, is the entrance to the tower under rubble right now? Do we have egress in there? What does that look like?
So the whole thing has collapsed.
Okay.
You can still see like the sort of the entrance area. It's like a stone, because the building was stone. So it's like a stone tower that went up, and you can see that there was like an entrance area and there's a door, but everything is collapsed down on it and the rubble has like scattered. So there's no actual inside anymore. It's destroyed.
And the entire university is destroyed?
And so that's really all that it was like this big central tower in the center of the city. And it was one of the tallest towers that basically housed, because like I said, the city's not that big. So a lot of it was just like basically like rich kids getting their education.
Got it.
It was kind of like private tutoring more than anything, but it's like old guys come teach a couple of kids, and then they also get paid to do research, basically.
Okay.
Gotcha. Speaking of which, if Sambra has gotten certain pings off of little items or broken pieces of former items here and there. Are there any papers, documents, anything that has survived this enough for us to glean at all?
Go ahead and roll investigation again.
Sure. Right, that is 13 on the die, plus 2, 15.
So you can tell with relative certainty that any documents were destroyed. That everything, basically, anything that was flammable went completely up in flames.
Got it. Scrolls, documents, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, material-wise, there's really nothing here, guys, but I don't know. I don't think that an explosion did this. Right?
Yeah, I feel like if it was an explosion, it would have been like I don't know, not only a greater area, but like people would have seen an explosion.
Yeah. May I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
No.
Could I do a quick perception or investigation to see if I guess perception or maybe insight to see if I feel like we're being watched right now or if there's anybody hiding nearby.
Yeah, you can do perception.
Cool. Here! Ah! Dang it, Slauson. Hold on. What is it? What is it? What is it? Don't move it. What is it? Yeah, I'm gonna use that advantage.
Oh, we have advantages. Thank you, chat.
13?
13?
Wait, I'm lucky. Yes, 13.
Okay. So you look around and you do notice that there are a couple of what look like the city watch sort of standing in a corner of the city square. You seem to have caught their attention, but they are not approaching you at all.
Okay.
Then I shall approach them.
Okay. So as you start walking up, they both kind of like stand up a little straighter and like grab their spears a little tighter and ram.
You, good sirs, how are you doing on this fine day, Deception?
Okay.
Hi, Adalia.
I love that. It's like punctuation at the end of the sentence. It's like deception. I love it.
Trying to deceive.
Oh, there's rolling. There's rolling happening.
That was an 11 for Deception.
Okay. That's good to know.
Okay, cool. And I'll carry.
Wait, what exactly are you trying to deceive them of?
That she sounds like Adalia?
I'm
Like-
trying to.
La la la.
Actually, you know what? This might actually be more performance. Come to think of it,
Okay.
which puts me at 17. I'm just trying to like act a little bit more, less like, hey, what's up? I'm Miko. I'm a bard. Give me your bread and beer, whatever. I guess it's fine. Whatever. And trying to be more like, oh, hello, yes, I'm very well-to-do and influential. Should probably be in my social circle. Everything's fine. Mm-hmm.
Maggie's
Alright,
looking
yeah,
at
Sambra.
Sombra.
I would
Yeah.
say that would be
and
your
when I look-
performance. So
Cool. That is
17.
17 for performance.
Okay.
Oh dear. And I look back at Maggie and then I pipe up and say, yeah, Miko, she's an incredible bard. You have to come see her gigs one time. She tours around the different taverns around here and she's getting inspiration. We heard about the fire and we're so sorry.
Yes,
Maggie's looking at both of them like, why are they lying?
It's quite a shame. You see, we had sent some papers up this way. Very important papers, family letters for restoration, as it were. I'm very much hoping that they were kept in somewhere safe at the university. We were headed up to retrieve them, but unfortunately the fire happened, and I don't know if there would be anywhere else they could have been taken for safekeeping?
No, ma'am. The attack caught us off guard, and pretty much everything that was in the archives and was in the university just went right up in flames.
Attack? What attacked it?
He doesn't say anything. His eyes are all big.
Oh, inside check. Big inside check.
Well, that is truly a shame. You know, in addition to our family letters, I believe that Pa had sent up my grandmama's necklace for safekeeping this way. Truly a shame. It must have been destroyed as well.
Oh, well, actually, anything that was recovered is being kept at the Merchants Guild. Perhaps you could check there.
The Merchants Guild?
Interesting.
Would there be anybody who might be keeping these artifacts safe in particular we could ask for? I would hate to waste the time of the merchants. I know that they're quite busy recovering from this whole ordeal.
Well, as far as I know, Master Azarian has been tasked with the recovery of these things and is keeping them safe at the guild headquarters.
Yes, Azarian. He is an old friend of ours. We'll have to pop by. Maybe he'll do us a solid. You two have been quite helpful. I do appreciate it. And now, you mentioned something about an attack. Would this be an attack of a flame from a little match going wild, or would this be something more interesting?
And the one guard that wasn't talking before sort of elbows his friend a little bit, and they're both like, don't know what you're talking about. There was no attack.
Oh, surely you could indulge a woman's love for a good story. I could certainly work it in. All names anonymous, of course. Could I roll persuasion?
Yeah, roll persuasion for me.
And oh boy, and I got a 13 on the insight.
That was a 12. Lucky for 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Sambra, for the insight, what were you trying to glean?
Oh, as soon as the eyes went big, okay, why is he holding something back from us, or is he just surprised by the question?
Well, so, you guys have figured out that there was definitely something that happened, but the story going around is that the place just caught on fire and there was an explosion. So it seems like he was like,
do they seem to be guarding something in particular? Or are they just kind of making rounds?
So, I'm going to have you roll perception for me on that one.
That's what it.
Noise.
Hey!
So, from what you can glean and from the time that you did spend in the city, you can probably tell that they are stationed here, but that they're not. It doesn't look like they're actually guarding anything in particular from the way that they're standing and from where they're standing.
Okay.
Except maybe just to keep an eye on the ruin.
Got it. Okay.
But the way that they're standing and what they're doing, it's not like they're just passing.
It doesn't seem like there's a spot in the rubble that they're making sure no one gets over to. Okay.
No, not like that.
Cool.
All right, so 25 on persuasion.
Yeah.
So the guards both kind of look at each other, and they look at you, thinking like Tweedledee and Tweedledum here.
Yep.
They're both like, "Are you from around here?"
Me?
Yeah. Because
family ties way back, but we've been out of the loop for quite some time.
All right. Well, if you promise not to tell anybody, word on the street has it that the university was attacked by flying demons, and they set the place on fire with their fire breath, and the whole place just went right up in flames. And what the people say, now, don't go telling nobody you hear, because everybody that has said that, they have ended up being branded insane, and we don't want
anything like that to happen, and you know, could lose our jobs. But word is that nothing bad happened to anybody. But when the when the scholars came back and they were looking through the ruins, almost everything was gone. You know, they had all kinds of magic artifacts in that place, and it looks like everything went missing. And nobody knows why. Nobody knows why demons would want all them things. It doesn't make no sense.
So, to tell you, I truly appreciate your willingness to indulge a woman's sense of imagination, but that's too far-fetched of a story, even for me to believe.
Oh, it's
Well,
true,
here's
that's what
here's
they
one
say.
question. Well, here's one question I had though. Like when you say branded insane, is that like the people have been walking around in black this whole time? I mean, I don't know. It's so strange. I'm used to seeing people so nicely, brightly dressed, and there's not a lot of people walking around in black outfits lately. Are
Oh
those
yeah,
the
no.
branded ones, or where do they go?
Oh no, the people who are branded insane, they don't go nowhere. It's just that their reputation in town has been ruined. Two of them ended up on the street, and then four of them were run right out of town. Said that they were crazy and they were doing bad things for this place. No, them men in black, they helping out the merchants guild rebuild this place, although you wouldn't know it. And he like kind of does like a head jerk over to the ruin.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Just so we can be on the lookout for the insane ones, do you know the names of the two that are in town?
Oh no, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But we will certainly keep a keen eye out, though.
Now, you said that the artifacts that were recovered would have gone to Azarian?
Yes, yes. He is keeping them for safekeeping at the head of the merchants guild.
Oh, well, that is quite truly generous of him, considering what you say happened here, which, honestly, between you and me, I do not quite believe, but we'll have to go pay our regards at some point and see if Grandmama's necklace is there. You all have truly been quite kind. Ladies, do we have any other questions before we head out?
No, these guys have been most helpful.
I do agree. Well, you gentlemen take care, and don't go telling around those stories to just anybody. I mean, well, I don't believe they're true. Others might have you all branded insane. Is that right?
Oh yeah, don't worry, we ain't spreading no lies.
Yeah. I do understand. Well, you all have a lovely day, and I'll give you a quick tip. In the market, I do believe they're having a wonderful special on peaches, but a bushel for only a gold piece. It's quite exquisite. And as she's walking away, she just kind of drops and goes, "Okay, dope, y'all, we're going to Azarian's."
And as you leave, I do like the most awkward bow and go, "Ta-ta, good sirs."
Oh, snap.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He
Was that
does like
good?
a weird. He does like a weird little half bow at you and kind of cocks an eyebrow, like.
You sounded funny, Miko.
Oh, it's just a thing that I do sometimes. That's fine. It's kind of fun. You should try it
It
sometime.
was pretty good.
All right, where are you guys gonna head?
Oh, we really should have
Well.
to go to Azarian's, but I think we should go to Azarian's.
Azarians it is.
Okay.
I want to make sure
Oh.
he doesn't have that necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you
Okay.
guys do remember that.
I know. I don't like this. I hate it all.
Uh-oh, okay. Maybe we should reconnoiter with Cherry and Zachary first, maybe?
It's up to you guys. It's up to
Maybe.
you what you want to do.
I don't know.
Hmm. I'm thinking, since they haven't caught up with us yet, that we definitely want to tell them everything
Yeah,
that
we would at least let them
found up
know what's
until
going on.
now. Yeah.
So do you guys want to go
Yep.
back to the tavern, or do you want to go ahead and go to the Azarian Manor?
Yeah, I think we will go back to the tavern.
Okay, cool. All right, so after learning what you have learned, you guys head back to the Lady of the Lake, where Hollick is
Hey.
still hanging out behind the bar. It is starting to get fairly late at this point, also. So it is up to you guys what you want to do, but you're probably pushing about 7 o'clock right now.
Dinner!
So yeah, as you walk in, Zachary and Cherry are no longer there.
Well, great.
Oh, we don't see them anywhere.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
They probably went to go talk to the people at the temple.
Maybe.
That's my guess. If I was Cherry, that's where I would go.
Okay.
Or if there's a bakery in town.
Well, that was definitely something else entirely. Let me see. Okay. Does anybody have another way to send the
Let
message?
me see what I have.
Because
I can do that.
Oh,
I forgot you were with us.
Yeah. What do you need? You want me to send something to Cordial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind
What
of
do you
like
want me
in
to
25 words or so. Let her know everything that's happened in the last few hours. Make sure you let her know I have apples for apple juice.
Wait, don't tell her that part. Let's surprise her.
Oh, good idea.
yeah.
All right, well, how about this? How about I will let them know that we're back here and that whenever they're ready, they can meet us here, and hopefully she responds and tells us where she is so that you don't have to worry anymore. Yeah. All right. Hold on one second. She kind of squinches her eyes a little bit. Cordial, we're back at the Lady of the Lake. Let us know where you are. We'll see you here soon. It's Amrit. And she kind of like
Good
pauses
idea.
for a second, and she keeps her eyes squinched closed. Yeah, she says she's fine. She's at the place with her friend, and she said that she'll be back here just as soon as she can. And
Sounds
actually,
good.
that's a good place to take a second break. So we will go ahead and take another 5 to 10, and then we will be back for the thrilling conclusion of what the hell is going on in Deepwater.
We will be back in a few, everybody. Like that. Boop, 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 boop. We are back, everybody.
Okay, I'm done. All right, so yeah, you guys get back to the tavern. It's probably about 7 o'clock. It's a little more sparse than it was before. There's not quite as many people in here. It seems like people are wrapping up their days, headed home. Pollock is still behind the bar.
Oh, hello. Can I get you anything? You returned. Do you need a room? Would you like some dinner?
I wouldn't mind
Well,
dinner if you have a salad.
Salad.
You know, like veggies and stuff.
Oh, yes, of course.
Like no meat.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
I can.
He brings you one potato.
Probably. I would be fine with that.
Potato.
Maggie's been eating peaches all day.
And before he scurries off to do that, though, Sambra would pipe up and say, "So our friends, Cordy and Zasha, Sasha.
I was like, what?
Wait a minute. That is not Sambra's
Like, is
nickname.
that really her
I
name?
promise. Zashri. No, to Sambra, Cordy is Cherry's real name because she's been calling that forever. But Cordy and Zashri, like, do you happen to know where they might have gone?
Well, they went off Gale, so probably wherever he goes. I don't actually really know where he goes. I don't know him that well, although he's here quite a bit. He doesn't talk very much, but he's a nice fellow. He does well.
Okay. Know where we can find him? If we have to go to him later, or?
Oh my, no. I like I said, I don't really talk to him that much. He doesn't talk very much. But he's quite a gentleman. Very nice fellow. Like I said, he tips very well. He's here quite often, but he's very...
Okay. All right. Well, at least we can sit and have dinner, right, girl? You think?
Yes, I'll run and I'll grab you something. I'm sure that we can come up with something. I mean, we've probably got a bit of mutton stew, and I can get some potatoes as well. And, you know, I'll whip up something for you, Maggie. It's not a problem at all. I'll be right back.
Scurries away.
I feel like he doesn't know how to walk. He only
No, probably
scurries.
not. I mean, he's a
Just
gnome living
scurries.
in a medium human world, so he's like constantly just like
Running.
zoop, zoop, 20-foot movements.
Cardio all day, all year. Mm-hmm.
But he's so tiny. He's big. All right. So as you're waiting, you guys just hanging out at the table.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that look, Vanessa.
What look?
What look? I don't like that look. I
Oh,
saw a look, man.
Followed up by the suspicious. Ooh, what look?
Oh, what look? I don't know what you are talking about.
I don't know anything that you're talking about, dear.
Toby, she's full of it.
So this Azarian fellow, you know him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've heard that he's like a big wig around here.
Well, I think we saved his daughter, we helped with their wedding, there was skeletons involved.
Skeletons.
Yeah, it was a lot.
A wedding.
Oh yeah, it was not pretty. Let me tell you. Oh my
He's kind of a
god, it was
douche.
so.
Well, that's a bit weird. Yeah, you know, I've heard that. I've heard that he's not a very nice man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit high and mighty, but you know, he is the head of basically this city. Very fancy pants man.
Hmm.
So,
Wow, head of the city, like elected official level, or like the go-to guy? Like everybody basically pays attention to what he says.
well, he's like the elected head of the Merchants Guild, which kind of makes him the default ruler of the city, as it were. You know, I mean, it's not like the people elected him; it's like other merchants they vote on who's leading, and since they basically run the city, he basically runs the city.
Sambra looks over at Miko and Maggie and says, I know that he was at least nice enough to us as far as we did him a favor and he, you know, showed us at least a modicum of respect there. How much do we trust him with our girls alone, though?
I mean,
Not.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this. But as she eyes her dwindling bacon, like she's only down to like one last piece, and she's like, I'm gonna really regret this, aren't I? But maybe we could tell Colic to hold dinner for us and maybe go check on them.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Ugh,
I have a quick question.
just got here.
Behind the bar, is there like a cocktail like station with like maraschino cherries and like lemon wedges and like toothpicks and olives and stuff?
There is not. This place is not that fancy, unfortunately.
Okay, dang. I was about to be like, I just grab a handful of slices. Or
Just ale.
Um,
give them to Maggie.
so are you guys are going to the Azarian house now?
Yeah, I
My
think
favorite place.
at least Sambra would write out a note, really quick, scribble out a note and leave it at the table for Colic. Like, sorry, please hold dinner for us. We'll be back checking on our girls. And
The Cherry and Zashri are with the Thieves Guild, not him.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
That was where she
I
was going. She was going to deal with her people.
Okay,
And he is the head of the Merchants Guild, which is the head of the city.
got you. But
What's up?
I just said wires crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, I think
okay.
I keep referring to them both as the guild, that's my bad. So I'll be more.
no worries. But still, we're kind of still worried about Azarian's influence a little bit, I think. And so, I don't know. I mean, you guys, I think our girls can handle themselves. And I think it's getting late. So, you know what? If Azarian wasn't pissy with us before, he might be even more pissy if we go to him this late. Do you guys just want to call it and have dinner and then go in the
Get
morning?
some rest. Works for me.
All right. And no note.
Right. And at that point, Holic kind of scrambles up, and Maggie, he puts down a plate of deliciously steamed potatoes smothered in cheese, and he's got some mutton stews for you guys, and puts them down on the table. And
I go behind the counter and give him a hug.
thank you. So he's like
I
on
haven't
his
had a
stool, and you're
vegetable
giving him a hug.
In
He's
a
like,
month.
A month? Oh, that's quite a long time, you know.
It is, you're right.
Sorry. But I was able to whip this up back there, and I hope that you enjoy it. I mean, who
Looks
doesn't love
delicious.
smothered in cheese? So, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if there's anything else that I can get for you.
Wait, could you just repeat one more time what that was?
What, the potatoes smothered in cheese?
Okay, that's. I just heard who doesn't like cheese.
I heard spud and cheese.
Smothered in cheese. Oh no, he was saying that basically anything smothered in cheese is delicious, and he hopes that you like it.
Oh, agree.
Yeah.
And I think what? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I said this is just my like. I'm eating food and I'm happy. Dance, and Miko probably does it too. Also, this song is a bop, so.
I think I say to Maggie,
Mm,
let me have one of those peaches. I swear I'm not gonna eat it, but let me have one of those peaches for a sec. I want to show you something.
what is with you guys and stealing my food?
I'm not stealing it, I promise.
Okay. I give you my last
Okay.
peach.
Okay. And I'll take my knife. Obviously, we've probably got utensils. I'll take my knife and I'll slice up the peach. And then I'll use thaumaturgy, and the little candle that's probably at our table flares up a little more, almost like, Bunsen burner kind of, flame
Ooh, I like it.
in a chemistry lab. And when it flares up, I just kind of hold it with a fork, and turn it and turn it. And I do that with several of the slices, and I'm like, voila, your dessert, roasted peaches. Changed my life when I first tried them. You have to try it.
That was
They are
magical.
delicious.
Look at her face. I love her face. She's like, what?
Toby.
I love.
That with Maggie and her like fruit hunt 2021, I feel like she wild shaped into a duck and asked Pollock if he had grapes, and that's where that whole joke came from.
I don't even know where I got that from. I just thought it'd be funny to make me like a full vegan with someone that is obsessed with bacon.
Yeah.
It's like full on vegan, and everyone's just like eating pocket bacon all the time.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Well, and it was
"Guys."
funny because it only came up, I think it was like an episode or two ago, and they all finally figured out, like, I don't eat meat.
Wait, what?
I think it was
The
Cherry that was like,
struggle.
oh wait, are you vegan?
Oh, God.
The vegan struggle is real, y'all. I
Mhm.
mean,
It is.
shout out to. I mean, I'm vegetarian with pescatarian tendencies, but I still empathize.
Yeah,
So yeah.
it's a commitment for sure. I would like Miko and Sambra to roll a perception check for me, please.
Can do. 19.
11.
Sambra, you're like chomping away at this soup. It's delicious. This is really good. It's like better than you expected it to be for a place like this. Miko, you're kind of like, finish your food and you're just kind of like looking around, and you notice that Maggie has something in her hand.
What you got there, kid?
It's a peach.
No. No.
It's an apple.
No.
I try to switch out what I'm holding in my hand with an apple.
All right, roll for sleight of hand.
Oh, this is
There's
the worst.
secret?
Toby,
Wait,
lick the dice. Lick the dice. Please, lick the dice.
Oh, you put his
What's
nose on
it?
it for luck. Oh.
What is that? I don't even know what the number that is. Really?
Oh, that
horrible.
was
I got a 1.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so she tries to, you can see her very clearly try to like drop the thing in her bag and like pick up an apple instead. But yeah, that's definitely not what she had in her hand before.
Give it.
I don't have anything.
Give it. Intimidation.
Oh no.
Okay.
And Sambra is watching this like, what?
Wait, what?
18.
Oh no. How scared am I of you? Let me see. Wait, what do I roll for that?
So I still actually don't really know how you're supposed to like do that. It's come up a
Intimidate,
couple
maybe.
of times, but I usually say that like it would probably be your constitution plus your constitution.
Okay, let's see then. It's an 18.
Okay, reroll.
An 18.
An 18?
Oh god! Okay. Miko is being very scary, and Maggie's just kind of like So you're a little nervous, but you're not necessarily scared. But you're definitely nervous. She's on to you.
Come on, you guys. Are you fighting? Why?
She thinks I have something.
And Sambra looks her in the eye and says very gently, without accusatory tone, Maggie, do you have something?
I open my hand.
It's the gem.
Maggie!
I couldn't help it.
Where did we even find it?
No.
What?
Your bag.
What?
Your bag.
The one from your bag.
Oh, I thought she found the necklace gem.
No, it's the one from your bag.
Mm-mm.
Okay, rule number 1, you never touch my bag. Rule number 2,
I couldn't help it. I don't know what happened.
give it.
I give it to you.
I take it.
I am actually Maggie. Go ahead and roll strength for me.
Ho!
Oh, we're about to get kicked out of this tavern, aren't we? Oh dear.
15.
15. Miko, can you also roll athletics?
Oh, come on.
8.
Oh dear.
Okay. You try to take it, and you can't get it out of her hand.
But my hand is open, right?
Yeah.
See, it's not me.
Maggie.
I'm not doing anything, I swear.
DM, please remind me, because Sambra remembers but not share. Did we ever run a detect magic on that gem?
Yes. Maggie knows that it is of the same type as the one in the necklace.
As the one in the necklace, right. Maggie,
Yeah.
we know that gems like this are not really good. So we're gonna need you to just drop it on the table. Just drop it on the table, okay?
I'll turn my hand over, like... Is it, like, stuck to my hand?
No, you turn your hand over
Okay.
and it drops.
There. See?
And Sandra uses mage hand to pick it up and looks over at Miko like, let me go ahead and put it in the bag. And then
Maggie, I'm gonna have you
Maggie.
roll acrobatics, please.
okay.
What is that? These dice
Oh,
are
no.
awesome, but they're dark.
Maggie, please do not try to jump into the bag. Oh god.
This is where Maggie dies.
She's gonna jump in the bag of holding and never return.
Oh dear god.
What'd you
Say
say?
hello to Senator Trottington.
I will.
Oh jeez.
Give my regards to Senator Trottington.
I will, good sir. That's an 8.
Acrobatics. Okay, so as Sambra's moving the gem to put it in the bag with her mage hand, you seemingly out of nowhere try to jump and grab it, but you miss. And you get the gem back in the bag.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna put my hand on Maggie's shoulder and just look really point blank seriously into her eyes. And Maggie, can you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh no.
Sorry, wisdom.
No.
Wisdom saving throw.
That's not good. That's a 10.
Beautiful. I say, Maggie,
Hmm.
you want nothing to do with that gem. And I cast suggestion, which will be good for 8 hours.
Okay.
Okay. Actually,
I should have done that before.
These are not
Well,
the
we
gems you're
didn't-
looking for.
Maggie, you sort
We
of
didn't-
feel this like tension in your shoulders drain a little bit.
That feels better. See, I told you I heard a buzzing.
Yup. So we've got that to deal with now, so that's good to know.
And I already touch everything.
Yes, you do. Right now,
We
why
know.
don't you touch some peaches and potatoes and just don't worry about that ugly rock.
You mean gem, right?
Shh.
Okay.
The thing. The thing.
The
you know?
thing.
Thing.
And Sambra looks over at Miko and says, well, at least, because she probably recognizes what you did. And she'll say, well, at least we'll be good, hopefully, throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because sleepwalking is a thing, too.
Yep.
So, we're good. Let's just hurry up and go to bed.
Just don't tell Cordial I did that.
She gonna be mad.
I mean, but also it's for Maggie's own good, so it's
It is.
ethical gray area. It's not like I was like, hey, you should do this thing for me. I'm like, just don't touch it. Don't touch the bad thing.
Yeah, and I think that's a good general rule. Nobody touch the thing with your hand.
Do you
You know,
touch
it's
it? Do you touch it with your hand?
It's like when a
Yes!
kid is grabbing
With my
everything
mage
without-
hand, sure.
It's like when a kid is running around and like grabbing things without permission, and so for punishment to teach them, you glue their hands together. So, sorry. I thought it was.
So at this point, Ambrit, who has been very quietly sitting at the end of the table, is just going to kind of be like, yep. She's going to be like, I thought you were a druid.
I am a druid.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, I got a little other stuff sprinkled in the mix.
I knew somebody that was a lot like you
I'm
when
sorry.
I used to. Well, she would sometimes do things that, like, she didn't really remember or want to, but it was like she couldn't help it. She was like a bit of a klepto, but
That's definitely like me.
yeah. She was really nice, but she ended up getting herself killed because the person that she was serving got mad when she didn't want to anymore.
Who was she serving?
Have you ever heard of Tiamat?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Miko leans over and goes, guys, Tiamat used to be a klepto.
Well, so Tiamat, she's like guards one of the gates to Avernus, and when I was living down there with my family, one of the girls that I went to school with down there, Tiamat was her patron and gave her magic powers. But I guess once Sambra, your dad, took over, she tried to leave with us, and Tiamat didn't like that, so she lost all her power, and then she got killed.
And Sambra has this pained look on her face, like for a sorceress that deals primarily with fire, this is one of the few times that you've seen her shiver. But it's not from cold, it's from, like, my mom, she used to tell me bedtime stories about Tiamat to make sure that we all behaved ourselves. I mean, Tiamat is scary.
She was real powerful,
Oh. I can imagine, like, getting your powers taken away is about the least you can worry about
My
with you're
powers
not
disappeared a
ever.
while ago. But then I got them back. But they were different.
What happened?
Different how?
My parents died in a fire. Because of me.
Maggie, I thought
Whoa.
you didn't have parents.
Well, I don't anymore.
How old were you?
Wasn't that long ago.
Did you guys live in the woods together?
Yeah, and then, it was something that I bought in town. And I learned to use it. And whatever the wizard gave me was, well, not good.
So Maggie.
After that, let's just say I wasn't happy Maggie for a while.
Let's try something, if you're okay with it.
Hmm.
Do you want to tell us one of your favorite memories of your parents?
I don't really remember them anymore. But I do remember my dad was a pretty cool looking wolf.
Yeah? That is cool. Do you, like, wild shape into wolves sometimes?
I can.
Yeah. Is that why you like to shift?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's really cool. Do you want an apple?
No, those are for Cherry.
Do you want me to go get you more peaches?
We can go get some later. It's kind of late.
It's never too late for peaches.
That's true.
Wait,
And the Peaches song is going through my head now.
I'm just
I
thinking
know, right?
of your character Peaches.
Millions of peaches.
Roy!
Peaches for me. and Sambra is just listening to them talk, and she's just quietly, she stopped eating her food, and she just as a byproduct of her draconic heritage, or just the fact that she deals with fire magic, whatever, her tears, she's got like a couple tears spilling down her cheek as she's like, her heart is breaking for Maggie right now. And as her tears fall, they like kind of sizzle a little bit. They're like acidic tears that kind of sizzle on the table.
There's like
A
puffs
little
of
bit as
smoke.
she's sitting, like, and she doesn't say anything, but she's listening. She's listening to what Maggie is saying.
When you say you weren't happy, what do you mean? Like dark magic and stuff.
Yeah, I did it. Anything that got in my way, I killed it. All I wanted to do was kill that wizard for taking my family away. I met some pretty cool people on the way, though.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, but are you? I mean, you seem happy now.
Well, yeah. It's kind of silly, but it was after this, adventure I went on, and there was a family and their house was up in flames. And instead of being dark and just letting them burn, we, was the people I was with at the time, we we saved them, and well, wherever I got my magic, they did not like that. And I lost it for a while, actually.
Sambra gives you a great big hug as you say that.
Which is why I don't like fire. Now I don't mind it as
That's
much.
That's why she gives you a hug, because then she's realizing that every time that she has cast a fiery spell, she's probably giving you PTSD.
A little bit. And then it was just one day I was all alone, just kind of hanging out, and I don't know, I felt this like good power. That's why I can heal you guys sometimes. I'm not as good at it as Cherry, but I guess it's a different patron. So I'm a little warlock, I guess.
Well, as long as you're happy, I guess.
It felt good to be powerful like that, but I did some pretty rotten things.
Flashback to stab, 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 stabby, stab, stab, stabby, stab, stab, stab,
Which
stab.
is why my unseen servant, I named it after one of those people. Because he was pretty red.
His name was
Tug
Rami, and he was the best.
His name was Tug. He
Where-
is kind of okay, I guess.
He's kind of the reason I became a klepto.
Sorry about that.
Well,
Maybe
sometimes being a klepto can be a good skill in some aspects, but in this case, when it comes to magical stuff, Maggie, please, anytime that we come across any little enchanted thing, let us take a look at it first, okay?
I'll try.
Never,
Sometimes it
never
almost
give you
feels like that evil is like still trying to control me.
Well, it can try all at once, because we're not gonna let it. Chief, awkward arm punch.
I do it back to you. So I don't really know what's... If that TT woman, yeah, I'm gonna call her that, is in hell, I'm a little nervous that, I don't know, she'll hurt me. For not,
Well,
I don't
that's
know,
why
doing
you're
what
gonna-
she wants.
Well, that's why you're gonna have your girls with you. We're not gonna let anything happen to you. So, and that's it.
Works for me.
And at this point, Sherry and Zashri are come through the door and see you guys sitting at the table and like make a beeline. And that is where we are going to end our episode for tonight. A little bit shorter, but you know, we didn't have everybody, so I wanted to.
So convenient, they just came into the tavern right
Oh my
after my
God.
awesome backstory moment. Thanks,
Ay,
guys.
ay, ay.
Also, though, before we go, Maggie, I do need you to make a wisdom save for me.
Okie doke.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, I failed that this time.
All these wisdom saves.
7.
7. Okay, cool. I will keep that in mind.
Oh, you're not even gonna
I
let
feel like she has a tally.
What happened last time, too? Last game, at the end of the
Yeah,
game, Maggie
she
failed
does.
her wisdom save for
Yeah.
the first time. So we'll
It's
see.
gonna
We'll
get
see what
real.
happens. So next weekend is Super Bowl Sunday.
That it is.
So we are not going to be live, although we will. Bells will not be live, although there will definitely be something here. So you
Yes.
should definitely come and hang out and watch what's going on. So,
Yes. And if
um,
there isn't, I will be doing another mini painting.
yeah,
So
yeah, there will definitely be something. So either come and hang out with Kat. Well, yeah, come and hang out with Kat and the rest of us in chat. We just won't be streaming actual bells. But we love everybody and thank you
Yes.
for sticking.
this was awesome. I love this.
I'm glad that everybody had a good time. Yay!
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Trying to think. TOA is back on Friday, and
Yes.
oh, we should start plugging. Share your thing.
Oh,
coming up.
Yeah.
So very excited for February as we celebrate Black History Month. Really, we celebrate Black History all year, but since we've got a month for it, we're going to use the heck out of it.
Heck
so
yes.
we're going to have a charity stream, and all proceeds will be going to Black Girls Code. And it's a nonprofit that helps young girls get interested in STEM. So science,
amazing.
technology, engineering, mathematics. I think that's how it goes. Anyway,
Yeah.
so all the techie things. So very great cause. Please stay tuned. We will be posting on all our socials on when the date and time is. We've got an amazing cast that's going to come on board and help us tell a story, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some raffle giveaways for people who donate. We've got some awesome prizes lined up, so stay tuned for deets on that as well.
I also would like to donate a mini that I paint for someone if they would like it. So
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
and
yeah,
my very first time DMing. So
you're gonna do amazing, Cher.
It's gonna be so good.
You're gonna be so good at it. I'm so excited for you to DM.
I know, me too. I'm so stoked. Yeah, so obviously details forthcoming, but we want to start putting that out in the ether that this is coming up and it's going to be awesome.
Tell your
and
friends, let people know.
We're excited.
It's an amazing thing to just come and support. Even if you don't donate, just come and be here because or not here, but Ladies of D&D. I think we're going to have it on, right?
Well, for sure. And
So.
and so just it's an awesome cause, obviously, and we are super stoked to be doing all of this. So we'll once we actually have solid dates and times and everything, we will continue to post stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. So
absolutely,
yeah. All right, cool.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
We love you all. Stay safe, be smart, all that good stuff. Drink your water, take your meds, and have a great night's sleep. And we will see you guys in the next stream.
Yeah.